Andy Dufresne, a bank employee, was found guilty of murdering his wife and her lover and was sentenced to life in prison and sent to Shawshank Prison. Andy's life seems to have taken a turn for the worse, but luckily Andy forges a close friendship with some of the other inmates, especially a character known simply as Red. Over time, Andy realizes that the soul can never be truly imprisoned while the body is locked in a cell. You can watch Hidden Face from Cult Movies with 1080p image quality. Adapted from the best-selling book by Mario Puzo, the movie The Father deals with the legendary life story of the Italian mafia family living in America between 1940 to 1950. They want legal protection for their relationship with Don Corleone and a man named Sollozzo, a man named Turk, who is New York's leading drug producer, and put them on the market, and pays a $1 million fee in return. It states that a share of every profit will be given in return for this money to be given. If they accept this offer, the Italian family will receive $3 or $4 million in their first year of employment. But Don Corleone does not accept this offer, and the reason is that there are politicians involved in the drug business. According to Don Carl, drugs are a very dirty business and, like gambling, this business cannot be played with. After turning down the offer, Don Carl is shot at the instigation of a chief of police and barely escapes the death. Now the Italian family is facing very difficult days, and during this time, his son named Sonny, who is known for his angry and suddenly acting character, will be executed very badly. A war hero who survived World War II, Michael is a very smart person, but he could not embrace the family profession. However, the course of all these events will put him at the center of events, and he will be involved in the war of the biggest crime mafia in New York City. The second sequel of the Barber series, consisting of the world's leading actors such as Al Pacino, Robert De Niro and Robert Duvall, met with cinema lovers in America on December 20, 1974, but could not come to Turkish cinemas. While his first movie's IMDb score is 9.2, Barber 2 follows him with a score of 9.1. Francis Ford Coppola, who directed the movie Barber 2, in which the elements of detective and drama were handled, also wrote the screenplay. The shooting of Barber 2, which gives an enormous viewing time of 200 minutes, was made in the USA and prepared for its release with an amount of $13 million. Immediately after its release, it grossed $193 million. In our sequel, we are watching a magnificent movie with a masterfully crafted story and masterful actors. Vito Corleone, who has just arrived in America, kills one of the local mafia leaders in New York in 1917 and begins to gain respect by all his circle. We also see how the young Corleone, who has become a feared person, rises. At the same time, one of his sons, Michael Corleone, confronts the scenario in Washington City and gives an account of the affairs in the family. In the movie Barber 2, this time we watch how the Corleone family rises from the very beginning. The film critics also said it was the best sequel ever made. Gotham City was at peace in Batman's fight against criminals. But since it is not possible to clean the evil from its roots, Batman, who had to roll up his sleeves for Gotham, which was in danger again after a while, this time fights with one of his biggest enemies, the Joker. With the addition of Lieutenant Gordon among Batman's friends, Wayne's work gets a little easier, and he will have to deal with the intelligent and insane Joker, who suddenly appears in front of him. Along with the genius of the Joker and always finding something to get away with, Batman will question why he's fighting for what cause and even his own existence. Because, perhaps, these efforts of Batman are increasing the number of criminals rather than decreasing them. Honey Bunny and Pumpkin are two robbers in love who want to add a little color to their lives. Meanwhile, rotten gangsters Vincent and Jules go as one of their daily chores to shoot a few of the debtors who are late paying the boss. While Vincent is babysitting his boss's beautiful young wife, his partner decides to end their criminal activities. A brave young boxer flees the city after refusing to cheat in a match for money. Life, on the other hand, will succeed in bringing together people who have different lives that have nothing to do with each other. The American-made Tight Friends movie, as one of the best in the history of cinema as a production in which drama and crime are committed with its biographical elements, has now been accepted in this field, both with its score of 8.7 in IMDb and because it is a film that has been watched repeatedly for years. Close Friends, directed by Martin Scorsese behind the camera and completed with a budget of $25 million, was first seen in the audience on September 19, 1990 and made its debut in Turkey on December 28. Adapted to the big screen from Nicholas Pileggi's novel of the same name, the film best reflects the extraordinary performances of famous names such as Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci for 146 minutes. The cult production, which was nominated for 6 Oscars, is also known for winning the Best Supporting Actor award for Joe Pesci, gangsters Jimmy Conway, Tommy DeVito, and He'll Try to Commit a Robbery by Making a Plan Together. The two friends, whose eyes are higher, kill the others and start to grow. The events and the latest situation have affected Henry in a very negative way, and he should do something about this issue as soon as possible. The most important aspect of this movie is that the tolls are true. Paul Edgecombe is a high-ranking execution chief among those working in one of the premier prisons in his region. Paul is in his 40s and has ordered the execution of countless prisoners throughout his life. One day, she meets a black man named John Coffey, who is convicted of a heinous murder charge and sentenced to death. Although at first Paul and his friends were a little startled by the man's appearance, Paul and his colleagues discover the benevolent and innocent personality underlying his eerie appearance. The things they discover, over time, are not only his personality, but they also realize that he has supernatural powers. The movie says 7EN, which was released on September 22, 1995, was shot by David Fincher, who also directed the movie Fight Club and became famous among the best directors. The movie Seven, which managed to reflect the mystery, thriller, and crime elements to the audience in a wonderful way for 127 minutes along with its dramatic scenes, was shot in 1995 and continues to maintain its score of 8.7 among the masterpieces that are among the old movies and never forgotten, with 850,299 people on IMDb votes. The story, written by Andrew Kevin Walker, stars Brad Pitt and the world-famous name Morgan Freeman, who appeared in the 2014 war-type movie Fury. The movie Seven, in which Kevin Spacey is among the leading actors, was released in Turkey on February 16, 1996. The production, which was completed with a budget of around $33 million, has earned a total box office revenue of $330 million worldwide. There is a serial killer who kills those who commit 7 deadly sins one by one with his own method, and these 7 sins are called greed, lust, arrogance, gluttony, destructiveness, jealousy, and laziness according to the beliefs of Christians. 2 detectives working as cops go after this serial killer, and incredibly strange and mysterious events occur. An amazing Brazilian masterpiece. Having been screened for the first time at the Cannes Film Festival on May 18, 2002, with 470,518 votes and an IMDb score of 8.7, Tanakent took its place in Turkish cinemas on July 18, 2003. Directed behind the scenes by Fernando Meirelles and Katia Lund, the drama and crime production is adapted from the novel by Paulo Lins. Alexandre Rodrigues, Mateus Nachtigael, and Leandro Firmino are among the leading roles in the movie City of God, which has a duration of 2 hours and 10 minutes. We go back to the 1960s in the film, which tells the story of Tankent, which gained its power through drug wars and trade. We witness the story of 2 close friends living in the back streets of Kent and their choice of different paths and becoming the destroyers of Tankent. If you haven't watched this movie yet, watch it. You will have mixed feelings and you will be completely turned upside down. The masterpiece called Silence of the Lambs, which was released in European countries on February 14, 1991, met with Turkish audiences on October 11, 1991. Directed by Jonathan Demme, the score of the 8.6 detective, thriller, and drama genre film on IMDb was determined by 778,924 people. The screenplay of the movie, which has a viewing time of 1 hour and 58 minutes, was adapted from the novel of the same name by Thomas Harris and transferred to the big screen. The Silence of the Lambs, which was shot in the 1990s for $19 million and was nominated for 7 Oscars, has a revenue of around $272 million. The new FBI agent Clarice Starling, who continues her academic education, goes to meet another murderer, Hannibal Lecter, to find a murderer who enjoys skinning her young female victims and begins to investigate the case in depth. But Lecter is very intelligent and must first gain his trust in order to learn from him.